The stars shone like distant diamonds against the black void as the human research vessel Curiosity glided through space. Captain Tom Davis stood on the bridge, his eyes fixed on the viewscreen where an alien ship grew larger by the minute. "All systems ready for first contact, Captain," said Officer Jack, his fingers moving quickly across the control panel. Tom nodded. After years of searching, humans had finally found intelligent life. The alien ship had appeared 3 days ago, approaching with clear purpose but no signs of aggression. Now the moment of truth had arrived. "Open communications," Tom ordered. The screen flickered, revealing a tall, slender being with pale blue skin and large oval eyes. 4 arms were folded neatly across its chest. "Greetings from Earth," Tom said, bowing slightly. "I am Captain Tom Davis of the research vessel Curiosity *." The alien tilted its head. "I am Ambassador Kree of the Velari Confederation. We welcome you to this sector of space." Tom felt a rush of excitement. The universal translators were working perfectly. First contact was happening, and it was going well. 3 days later, the human delegation boarded the Velari ship for formal talks. Dr. Anna Miller, the ship's biologist, walked beside Tom, her eyes wide with wonder. "This is amazing," she whispered. "Look at their technology. It's nothing like ours." The Velari ship was a marvel of organic design. Curved walls pulsed with soft light, and doorways opened and closed like living things. Ambassador Kree led them to a large meeting room where several other Velari waited. "These are our scientists," Kree explained. "They are very interested in learning about your species." One of the aliens stepped forward. "I am Lox, head of biological studies. We have many questions about humans." The meeting went well at first. The humans shared information about Earth, and the Velari told stories of their home world. But things became strange when Lox asked about human reproduction. "When is your mating season?" Lox asked, all 4 hands busy taking notes. Tom coughed in surprise. Anna stepped in smoothly. "We don't have a specific mating season. Humans can reproduce at any time of the year." The room fell silent. The Velari looked at each other, their large eyes blinking rapidly. "Any time," Lox repeated. "How is this possible?" Anna explained basic human biology, while the Velari listened with growing shock. When she finished, Kree and the others huddled together, speaking in quick, hushed tones. "Have I said something wrong?" Anna asked Tom quietly. "I don't think so," he replied, but they seemed very surprised. Finally, Kree turned back to them. "Forgive our reaction. Among the Velari, mating occurs only during our spring alignment, when our 3rd moon reaches its zenith. This happens once per cycle, what you would call a year." "Is that common among spacefaring species?" Tom asked. "All known intelligent species have defined mating periods," Lox said, studying the humans with new interest. "Your ability to mate at any time is unexpected." As the meeting ended, Tom noticed the Velari watching them differently, some with caution, others with fascination. Lox approached Anna before they left. "I would like to learn more about human reproduction," the alien scientist said. "Would you permit further discussions?" Anna nodded. "Of course. Scientific exchange is why we're here." As they returned to their ship, Tom felt uneasy. "I think we just discovered our first major cultural difference," he said. Anna smiled. "And we thought the biggest challenge would be learning their language." Neither of them realized that this simple biological fact would soon cause a diplomatic crisis that would echo across the galaxy. 1 week after the first meeting, the Curiosity docked at the massive Velari space station. Hundreds of Velari gathered to watch the humans arrive. Some looked excited. Others seemed nervous. Tom noticed the stares as he led his team through the station. "They're watching us like we might start mating right here in the hallway," he whispered to Anna. She nodded. News travels fast, even in space. Ambassador Kree met them in a large dome filled with plants from different worlds. "Welcome to our cultural exchange center," he said. Many of our people are eager to meet humans. The day was filled with presentations about Earth. The Villari were fascinated by human art, music, and especially food. Everything went smoothly until Dr. Anna's scheduled talk on human biology. The room was packed. Anna had never seen so many aliens in one place. As I mentioned in our first meeting, she began, humans can reproduce at any time during our yearly cycle. This is different from the Villari, who have a specific mating season. A Villari raised one of its 4 hands. Does this mean humans are constantly mating? Anna laughed. No, not at all. We choose when to have children. Choose? Another Villari asked, sounding confused. Anna explained human family planning and birth control. With each new detail, the Villari became more agitated. Some left the room. Others whispered to each other with worried looks. Lox, who sat in the front row, seemed the most interested. Fascinating, the alien scientist said. So humans have complete control over their reproduction. Not complete control, Anna said. But we have many ways to prevent pregnancy when we don't want children. After the presentation, Cree approached Tom with concern. Captain, your Dr. Miller's information has caused distress among my people. Distress? Why? Tom asked. For the Villari, mating is sacred. It happens only during our spring alignment, when our biology and our spirits are ready. The idea of mating at any time and preventing birth is difficult for many to accept. Tom frowned. We didn't mean to offend anyone. We're just sharing our biology. I understand, Cree said, but I must ask you to be careful what you share. Some Villari leaders are already questioning if humans should be allowed to visit our worlds. Later that night, Anna found Lox waiting outside her quarters. I apologize for my people's reaction, Lox said, but I have more questions. How did humans develop this ability? What evolutionary advantage does it give you? Anna invited Lox in, and they talked for hours about human evolution. Lox explained that Villari reproduction was tied to their planet's stable seasons. For thousands of years, the third moon reached its zenith at the same time each year, triggering hormonal changes in all adult Villari. Most spacefaring species evolved on stable worlds, Lox said. But your Earth sounds chaotic and unpredictable. It is, Anna agreed. Maybe that's why we adapted to reproduce anytime. We couldn't rely on stable seasons. As Lox left, the alien scientist seemed troubled. Your adaptation makes humans very resilient. Some will see this as threatening. The next morning, Tom received an urgent message. The Villari High Council wanted to meet with the human delegation immediately. What's going on? Anna asked as they hurried to the meeting. Tom's face was grim. I'm not sure, but I think our reproductive abilities just became a galactic issue. The Villari High Council chamber was circular, with tall seats rising like a stadium. 5 elder Villari sat at the highest point, looking down at Tom and Anna with unreadable expressions. Ambassador Cree stood beside the humans, all 4 of his hands clasped together nervously. Captain Davis and Dr. Miller. The center elder said, I am Chief Elder Knox. We have called you here because troubling rumors are spreading among our people. Tom stepped forward. What kind of rumors? Elder Knox's large eyes blinked slowly. That humans breed constantly. That you could produce thousands of offspring in the time it takes us to produce 1 generation. Some fear your species' plans to overwhelm the galaxy with your numbers. That's not true at all, Anna said quickly. Just because we can reproduce any time doesn't mean we do. Most human couples only have 2 or 3 children in their entire lives. The elders looked at each other, clearly doubtful. If I may, a voice called from the side of the chamber. Lox stepped forward. I have studied the information Dr. Miller provided. While humans can mate anytime, they have developed cultural and technological controls on population growth. So they claim, said another elder. But we have no proof. For all we know, Their ship could be full of breeding pairs producing offspring right now. Tom felt his face grow hot with anger. That's absurd. We came here in peace to learn about your civilization. We've been nothing but honest with you. Then you will not object to being monitored, Elder Knox said, for the safety of all. Back on the Curiosity Tom called an emergency meeting with his crew. They put cameras all over the station where we're staying, he told them. And they're watching our ship from a distance. Officer Jack slammed his fist on the table. They think we're some kind of breeding machines. This is insulting. It's a misunderstanding, Anna said. One we need to fix before it gets worse. Later that day, Anna discovered something disturbing. She showed Tom her tablet, which displayed strange energy readings around the human quarters. They're not just watching us, she said. They're scanning us, looking for pregnancy signs or mating behaviors. Tom shook his head in disbelief. This has gone too far. That night, Locke secretly met with them in a quiet corner of the botanical garden. Many Villari are afraid, the alien scientist explained. In our history, whenever two species competed for the same resources, the one with faster reproduction always won. But we're not competing, Anna argued. We want to be friends, to learn from each other. I believe you, Locke said, but others don't. The conservative faction is pushing for all contact with humans to be cut off. What can we do? Tom asked. You need to explain your birth control methods better, Locke suggested. Show them how humans limit their population. Make them understand you won't overrun the galaxy. The next day, Anna prepared a new presentation focused on family planning. But when she arrived at the lecture hall, only a handful of Villari were there. Locke sat in the front, looking worried. Where is everyone? Anna asked. The High Council has declared your topic inappropriate, Locke explained. They've forbidden most Villari from attending. Anna gave her presentation anyway. She explained how humans had stabilized their population centuries ago, how most Earth nations had negative population growth, and how humans valued quality of life over quantity of children. When she finished, a Villari stood up from the back of the room. The human speaks of controlling reproduction as if it were natural, the Villari said loudly. This goes against the cosmic order. Their very existence is dangerous. As the Villari stormed out, Locke approached Anna and Tom. That was Mev, advisor to Elder Knox. This is worse than I feared. What's going to happen? Tom asked. Locke's voice was grim. They're taking this to the Galactic Council. Your reproductive abilities will be judged by representatives of 50 spacefaring species. Tom and Anna looked at each other in shock. What had started as a simple biological difference was now threatening humanity's place among the stars. The Galactic Council chamber was the largest room Tom had ever seen. Curved rows of seats stretched up and away, filled with aliens of every shape, size, and color. Some had multiple limbs, others none at all. Some floated in special tanks, while others were wrapped in protective suits. There must be hundreds of species here, Anna whispered as they were led to a small platform in the center of the chamber. 53 spacefaring civilizations, Locke said, walking beside them, all watching to see what happens with humans. A loud bell rang 3 times. The chamber fell silent as a tall, thin alien with silver skin stepped onto a raised platform. I am Grand Speaker Vril, the alien announced. Today we address concerns about the human species and their unusual reproductive capabilities. Ambassador Kree will present the Villari position. Kree stepped forward, looking uncomfortable. Honored representatives, the humans have a biology unlike any we have encountered. They can mate and reproduce at any time, without seasonal cycles. Some Villari fear this gives humans the ability to grow their numbers rapidly and potentially threaten the balance of power in the galaxy. Murmurs spread through the chamber. Tom noticed many aliens leaning forward, their eyes, stalks, or sensing organs fixed on the human delegation. The Velari request that restrictions be placed on human expansion until we better understand the implications of their biology, Cree concluded. Grand Speaker Vril turned to Tom. Captain Davis, you may respond. Tom stepped forward, heart pounding. Respected members of the Council, humans come in peace. Yes, our reproductive biology is different from yours, but we have developed cultural and technological means to control our population. Earth's population has been stable for centuries. Yet you could change this at any time, interrupted a bulky alien with rough, stone-like skin. What prevents humans from breeding rapidly to outnumber us all? Nothing prevents us except our own choice, Anna said, joining Tom. Just as nothing prevents any of your species from building more weapons or ships. Trust works both ways. The chamber erupted in debate. Tom and Anna watched in growing concern as species after species expressed fear of human reproduction. Only a few voices spoke in their defense. During a break in the proceedings, Lox pulled them aside. I've been researching other council members, the alien scientist said. Every spacefaring species evolved on planets with stable seasons and environmental cycles. All have reproductive limitations tied to their planets. So we're the odd ones out because Earth is unpredictable? Anna asked. Exactly, Lox nodded. Hurricanes, earthquakes, ice ages, Earth's constant changes forced humans to adapt in ways other species never needed to. When the council reconvened, a new speaker took the floor, a jelly-like creature floating in a clear container. The More Collective has reviewed Earth's history, the alien bubbled. Humans have survived conditions that would exterminate most species. Their adaptability extends beyond reproduction. They can live in deserts, Arctic regions, even underwater for short periods. This makes them potentially dangerous to galactic stability. More voices joined in agreement. Tom felt the room turning against them. Finally, Grand Speaker Vril raised a hand for silence. The Council will vote on Resolution 7729. Temporary restrictions on human expansion beyond their solar system. The vote was quick and decisive. 45 species voted in favor of restrictions. Only 8 voted against. The resolution passes, Vril announced. Humans may maintain their current diplomatic mission, but are forbidden from establishing colonies or outposts until further notice. As they left the chamber, Tom's shoulders slumped in defeat. They're containing us like a dangerous infection. They're afraid, Anna said. Fear makes people, and aliens, irrational. Lox approached them, looking determined. This isn't over. I believe human adaptability is something to be studied and valued, not feared. Let me help you change their minds. Tom looked up, a spark of hope returning. How? By showing them what makes humans special, Lox replied. 3 days after the Galactic Council's decision, Tom, Anna, and Lox sat in a small laboratory aboard the Curiosity. The walls were covered with charts comparing human and alien biology. Holograms of various planets spun slowly in the center of the room. The Council's decision is unfair, Tom said, pacing back and forth. They're judging us based on what we could do, not what we actually do. Fear often overcomes reason, Lox replied, examining a display of Earth's climate history. But I believe we can change their minds with knowledge. Anna looked up from her computer. I've been thinking about why humans evolved differently. Look at this comparison I made. She projected a chart showing climate stability for different homeworlds. The Velari planet showed minimal variation over thousands of years. Most other alien worlds were similar. Earth, however, showed dramatic swings in temperature, precipitation, and seasons. Earth has been hit by asteroids, gone through ice ages, experienced massive volcanic eruptions, Anna explained. No other spacefaring species evolved in such a chaotic environment. Lox studied the data with all 4 eyes wide. This explains much. Your reproductive flexibility wasn't random. It was necessary for survival. Exactly, Anna said. Species with strict mating seasons might go extinct if their world suddenly changed. Humans could adapt. Tom stopped pacing. So our adaptability isn't a threat. It's just our way of surviving. Yes, but how do we convince the council of that? Lox asked. For weeks, the three worked together. Lox provided data on dozens of alien species and their evolutionary histories. Tom contributed human historical records, showing how Earth's unpredictable environment had shaped human development. Anna created detailed comparisons of reproductive strategies across species. One evening, as they reviewed their findings, Lox made an important observation. All these other species evolved in environments where cooperation was the best strategy. Their strict mating cycles encouraged social harmony. But humans had to compete as well as cooperate, Anna finished. We needed to be flexible in every way. That's why they fear us, Tom realized. Not just because we can reproduce anytime, but because our entire evolutionary history made us adaptable in ways they aren't. Lox nodded. The Velari and other species see your adaptability as chaotic and dangerous. They don't understand that it's your greatest strength. As they continued their research, Tom received an urgent message from Earth. The Council's restrictions were hurting human diplomatic efforts. Several planned scientific missions had been canceled. Earth's leaders were considering pulling back from galactic affairs entirely. We need to solve this soon, Tom told the others, before humans and aliens give up on each other. The breakthrough came unexpectedly. Anna was examining Velari reproductive biology when she noticed something strange. Lox, is it true that Velari can only reproduce during your spring alignment because of hormonal triggers? Yes, Lox confirmed. When our third moon reaches zenith, it triggers changes in our atmosphere, which signal our bodies to begin the mating process. Anna's eyes lit up. What if those triggers could be reproduced artificially? That would be. Lox paused, considering. Revolutionary. Velari could potentially reproduce outside our normal cycle. Not just Velari, Anna said excitedly. We could adapt this for many species. Human reproductive medicine is advanced because we've had to control our fertility. We could share that knowledge. Tom began to understand. Instead of seeing human reproduction as a threat, they could see it as a gift. Lox finished. A way for all species to have more control over their destiny. As they refined their plan, an emergency signal flashed on the ship's communication system. A Velari colony was in trouble, and it had everything to do with reproduction. The emergency signal came from Velar 9, a small Velari colony on the edge of their territory. The message was brief but desperate. Atmospheric disruption. Spring alignment failed. Reproduction cycle interrupted. Colony faces extinction. We have to help them, Tom said immediately. Lox looked troubled. The atmospheric disruption must have prevented the hormonal triggers. Without successful reproduction this cycle, the colony will die out within a generation. Anna's mind was racing. This is our chance to show how human adaptability can help. Within hours, the Curiosity was racing toward Velar 9. Ambassador Kree joined them, his usually calm demeanor replaced with visible worry. The colony was established 30 cycles ago, Kree explained. A comet passed too close to their world, disrupting the atmospheric conditions that trigger our mating cycle. By the time the atmosphere clears, the spring alignment will be over. And they can't reproduce until the next cycle. Tom asked. Correct. An entire generation lost. Kree's four hands twisted together anxiously. The High Council is sending aid, but they can only offer comfort, not a solution. Anna looked at Lox. But we might have a solution. 2 days later, the Curiosity reached Velar 9. From orbit, the planet looked beautiful, oceans of deep purple and continents of golden landmasses. But instruments showed the atmospheric disturbance that had thrown the delicate Velari reproductive cycle into chaos. The colony's leader, Governor Toole, met them at the landing pad. Hundreds of Velari stood watching, their faces showing a mix of hope and suspicion at the arrival of humans. We welcome any help, Tull said after hearing their plan. But many here distrust humans after the Council's ruling. Let us prove ourselves through actions, Tom replied. Anna and Locke set up a temporary laboratory in the colony's medical center. Using the research they had gathered, they worked to create an artificial version of the atmospheric triggers that would normally signal the Velari bodies to begin their mating cycle. The work was difficult. Twice, their formulas failed in testing. The watching Velari grew more doubtful with each setback. The spring alignment ends in 3 days, Tull reminded them. After that, it will be too late. On the night before their final attempt, Anna sat alone in the lab, reviewing their work. Tom found her there, surrounded by data screens. You should rest, he said gently. I can't, Anna replied. These people's future depends on us getting this right. Tom placed a hand on her shoulder. That's what humans do best, adapt and overcome. If anyone can solve this, it's you. The next morning, they presented their solution to the colony's medical team. A carefully calibrated atmospheric chamber that mimicked the exact conditions of the spring alignment. This chamber recreates the atmospheric signature that triggers your reproductive cycle. Anna explained. Couples can enter for a few hours each day during what would have been the alignment period. The Velari doctors were skeptical but desperate. The first couples entered the chamber that afternoon. By evening, the colony's medical team confirmed the wonderful news. The artificial atmosphere had worked. The Velari couples were showing all the biological signs of a successful beginning to their reproductive cycle. Word spread quickly through the colony. Cheering Velari gathered outside the medical center, their earlier suspicion replaced with gratitude. Governor Toole addressed the humans publicly. You have saved our colony from extinction. We judged your species too harshly. That night, as hundreds of Velari couples prepared to use the atmospheric chambers, Cree approached Tom and Anna. The High Council has been informed of what you've done here, the ambassador said. They're reconsidering their position on humans. We didn't do this to change the Council's mind, Tom said. We did it because it was right. Locke joined them, looking pleased. Perhaps that is the most important lesson about humans that other species need to learn. 3 months after saving the Velar-9 colony, the Curiosity returned to the Galactic Council headquarters. This time, the mood was different. Instead of fearful stares, many aliens nodded respectfully as Tom and Anna walked through the halls. Some even approached to express gratitude for what they had done. Word of your actions at Velar-9 has spread throughout the galaxy, Locke explained as they prepared for the council meeting. Many species are reconsidering their views on humans. The council chamber was as full as before, but the tension in the air had changed to curiosity. Grand Speaker Vril called the session to order. We have gathered to reconsider Resolution 7729 regarding human expansion, Vril announced. Ambassador Cree will present new information. Cree stepped forward, standing taller and more confident than before. Honored representatives, I come before you to admit an error in judgment. The Velari, including myself, viewed human reproductive capabilities as a threat. We were wrong. Murmurs spread through the chamber as Cree described what had happened at Velar-9. Without the humans' unique understanding of reproductive biology, an entire colony would have been lost. Cree concluded. Their adaptability, which we feared, saved our people. Next, Locke presented the research they had conducted together. Humans evolved on a world of constant change and challenge. The scientist explained, showing images of Earth's varied and sometimes extreme environments. Their adaptability wasn't a choice. It was necessary for survival. The jelly-like representative of the Moor Collective, who had previously spoken against humans, bubbled with a question. But does this not still make them dangerous? Species that adapt quickly can outcompete others. Only if competition is their goal, Anna replied, stepping forward. But humans value cooperation. Our history shows that when we work together, with each other, and now with you, we achieve more than when we compete. Tom joined her. We don't want to replace any species in the galaxy. We want to learn from you. trade with you, and share our different strengths. The council debated for hours. Some species remained cautious, but many were swayed by the evidence from Velar 9 and the research flocks presented. Finally, Grand Speaker Vril called for a new vote. This time, 42 species voted to lift the restrictions on humans. Only 11 voted to maintain them. Resolution 7729 is hereby revoked. Vril announced, humans may establish diplomatic and scientific outposts throughout Council space, subject to standard regulations for all species. As cheers erupted in the chamber, Tom felt a weight lift from his shoulders. We did it, he whispered to Anna. 2 weeks later, the Curiosity prepared to return to Earth with the good news. On the departure deck, Tom and Anna said goodbye to Loxt and Kree. The High Council has approved my proposal, Loxt said excitedly. We are establishing an interspecies medical exchange program with a focus on reproductive health. And I have been appointed as permanent ambassador to Earth, Kree added. I have much to learn about your world. Anna smiled. And we still have much to learn about yours. As they boarded their ship, Tom paused for one last look at the massive space station where their journey had begun. You know what's funny? He said to Anna. All this happened because aliens were shocked that humans can mate anytime. Sometimes the smallest differences lead to the biggest misunderstandings, Anna replied. But they can also lead to the most important discoveries. The Curiosity departed, carrying with it plans for new human outposts, scientific exchanges, and cultural programs. What had started as alarm over human reproduction had transformed into a new era of cooperation. In the vastness of space, the adaptability that had once made humans seem dangerous now made them valuable allies. Different was no longer threatening. It was simply another way to survive in a complex universe.